Making Happen TV, where we're here to inspire and encourage you to pursue your gifts and talents. And we've got a great show for you today. Comedian John Fannell. And if you like to laugh, then you better stay tuned because he is hilarious. We've only met today, but we've been talking to each other off and on for several years now. But he's a great guy, very sweet spirit to talk to. So anyway, I want you to stay tuned, but before we go to a quick commercial, I want to talk to you a little bit. You know, this is an inspirational television talk show, so of course I have to inspire you a little bit before we go to the commercial. So I wanted to talk to you today about confidence. Have you ever had a time when you just lacked a little bit of that confidence? You know, and even for John that's coming on here in a minute, he's got to have some confidence in order to do stand-up comedy. He's got to have some confidence in order to go out in front of huge crowds in the corporate world and do stand-up comedy. You know, and each one of us have this time in our lives when we're thinking, can I really do this? You know, what will people say if I get up there and try to do what my gift or my talent is? No matter what it is, whether you're a doctor or a lawyer and you're just getting started, whether you're a musician or a comedian, no matter what it is, you have to have the confidence to step out there and do it. Now, I know several years ago, I interviewed this young man that's on Broadway now, and I asked him how it all got started, and he said, well, I was only 18 years old, and I took off from Tulsa, Oklahoma, really Sand Springs, Oklahoma, to go to Hollywood, you know, to see if I could make my dreams come true. And I said, you're 18 years old? He said, sure. I said, how in the world would you have the courage to take off, leave your family, everyone behind, and go off to a strange place to try to make your dreams come true? He said, why would you even ask a question like that? People are people no matter where you're at. So the same kind of people that are in Tulsa, Oklahoma are the same people in Hollywood. You've just got to have the confidence to know where you're going and step out there and do it. So I was mesmerized in his conversation that day because, you know, for me, it took me a long time to have the confidence to step out and do what I'm doing right now. I used to always think whenever I was getting up in front of an audience, I thought, oh, please show up. Let's have something that I can honestly say to these people. And you know what? When you step into your gift or your talent, it's funny how that works because the confidence to do it is there. All you have to do is take that first step and you'll step right into what you need to do, your gift and your talent. So let me encourage you today. If you are standing back there thinking, I don't know if I can do this, I don't know if I can step into that, I don't know if I have the confidence to do it, hear what I'm saying. You do. If you know what your gift and your talent is, you've already got the confidence. It's already inside you. All you have to do is begin to do it. So let me leave you with that. Step out and do it. Okay? So we're going to go for a quick commercial. When we get back, comedian John Fannell will be here on the stage with me. You need to stay tuned because he's funny. Okay? See you soon. And as I promised, comedian John Fannell is here getting ready to entertain us. First, we're going to have a little talk on the set, and then I want to send him over to the stage. You don't want to miss this. John Fannell, would you come onto the stage for us?
Hey, how you doing?
Good.
Hey.
It's so good to see you.
Good to see you.
Thank you so much for coming. If
thank
you would have a seat. Oh, I've been, it's funny. We really have. How many years has it been? We've been connecting back and forth,
maybe 3-4 years.
I bet it's been longer than that.
Yeah, it could be.
But I'm so glad that you're here. Okay, tell me, just like the little talk, the monologue we just had just there. How did you decide that? I mean, have you always been a comedian?
I've always been in love with comedy.
Okay.
And I guess it really kind of started because I wanted to be a writer. So I was in college, and my whole thing was to write funny stories and send off funny stories.
Really?
And do that. And the last thing,
in childhood or college?
In college.
Okay.
And the very last thing I ever wanted to do was get in front of people. Like that would just kill me trying to stand up in front of people.
Right.
And so I'd send off stories and send them off, and then you wait around, like, I don't know how it is nowadays, but you wait around 3 months and you get a rejection slip, and then you send another one, and you wait around 3 months.
Oh, wow.
And it comes back, and then pretty soon you have a box just full of
rejections.
Right. And I decided, I want immediate rejection. Something a lot faster, And so anyhow, I just decided, I thought back about my life, and my most positive memories I had of myself when I was making people laugh.
Wow.
And I'm like, why not get in front of people and just try that? And so, now I know better. If I wanted to be a writer, Stephen King, you study other people's life stories, they just keep at it for years and years,
right.
and it finally happens. Well,
right.
I somehow didn't have the patience, and now I'm glad I didn't have the patience.
Right.
And so then that kind of started my stand-up.
You never had any other jobs?
I kind of led a double life for a long time.
Okay.
Where I had a day job and I had my comedy stuff.
Okay.
And which was kind of awkward, because I'd have bookers call me and they'd say, "Hey, I want to book you for August," and I'd like,
you don't have a vacation time, right?
Right, and you can't tell them, oh, I have a day job.
Yeah.
So it's like, well, I could do, how about a week? And they'd like, I remember this guy telling me, he goes, I've never heard of a comedian, you offer them a month and they want a week, and and so I was kind of playing this game for years and years and years. I was trying to balance the day job and the comedy.
Right.
And so now it finally worked out, and so that's all I do now.
So you go into corporations and all kinds of places, right?
Mm-hmm. And I do a lot of private stuff for big corporations.
Right.
And I do motivational stuff. I do straight comedy stuff. I've been getting into some acting recently.
Which do you like the best? The corporate world, or do you go to comedy clubs? And
yeah.
Okay.
Comedy clubs, I love that, just straight up comedy clubs. That's a lot of fun.
Wow.
But acting is a lot of fun because there's a collaboration. And
now, how much have you gotten into the acting?
Well, I got my first feature film role. It just shot last week.
Oh, wow.
And so I was very excited about it. And so it's just a small scene. It's just one scene, and but it's called The Adventures of Jurassic Pet.
Okay.
And it's out on Amazon in the fall.
And it's comedy.
Yeah, a big part of it is. And hopefully I won't end up on the editing room floor. So,
if you are, then the next one, you could be the leading man then.
Hey, I'm for that. That'd work out, wouldn't it?
You never know. You never
that'd
know.
work out.
Well, I read on your website that you've been with some of like Randy Travis. That was one of them. Really? What happened then?
Well, it's a funny story.
If you like country music, you know who Randy Travis is.
Oh yeah. Well, I went to this real hole-in-the-wall improv place one night. And this is something that, when you're getting into comedy, you just try anything, right? And you have to get on stage whenever you can. I went to this little hole-in-the-wall place. There may be 3-4 people there.
Right.
And they may have even canceled the show.
Now, where was this at?
It was in South Tulsa.
Really?
And all they had were a couple of church pews. And I can't remember if they canceled the show that night, but anyhow, I met a guy, and at first I thought, no, I'm not going to go to this place because there's not going to be anybody there.
Yeah.
Well, I met this guy, and then he ended up booking me for Weird Al once. He booked me for Randy Travis.
Wow.
He gave me the booking for B.B. King.
Wow.
And so kind of what that taught me is you never know what is going to lead to what.
Right.
And you just have to go for stuff.
Right.
And you have to be persistent. And you have to, there's more rejection than there is acceptance.
Really?
But you have to go for stuff anyway. Just like the acting thing.
Right.
I go over and I apply for this role, right? I go and audition for the big role in this movie.
Right.
And I really didn't have time to learn my lines, right? And so I'm like, and plus the lead role was kind of, I didn't really fit it.
Right.
And so I'm going, how am I going to do this? So I decided I'm going to do this Christopher Walken style. So I go in and I'm like, and I can't do Christopher Walken, right?
Yeah.
But I'm like, okay. And then the guy goes over there and I'm doing this real halted delivery, right?
Right.
But hey, I remembered all my lines.
Wow.
And I realized that's why Christopher Walken does that. It helps him remember his lines.
Oh, wow.
And so, I mean, who knows? But anyhow, so I didn't get that right. So then a couple weeks later, another role in the same movie, a little bit lesser role, comes out. I go over and apply for that. I didn't get it. I go over a third time. So it's persistence. I go it 3 times. And then finally, I don't know if they're getting tired of me or what, but finally they sent me an email and they said, oh, they want you to be the highway patrolman in the movie. And I'm like, okay.
That's cool.
So, in show business, you really, there's a lot more rejection than there is acceptance. But you just push through and you just keep at it.
And you never know where it's going to end up. Yeah,
Yeah.
That's great.
And when you're starting out,
We're going to run out of time real quick, and I don't want to run out of time for you to go over there and do some comedy for us. So stay tuned. We'll be right back, and when we get back, John will be over here on the stage showing us a little bit of comedy. So stay tuned. We'll be right back.
thank you. Thank you very much. So good to be here. Thank you for having me. I've been on the road a little bit. They love me in South Dakota. I don't really get it, but so I was up in South Dakota again. It's always fun, and what's weird is they have the most polite seatbelt signs in the world. The seatbelt signs, they really say this. They're like, just a reminder, please be careful. We don't want you to be in an accident. Please reminder, be safe. I always know I'm back in Oklahoma. I'm crossing the border. Our sign, buckle up. It's the law. We'll shoot ya. We don't care if you come back. I'm like, woo, I'm back in Oklahoma. Who are the parents? Who are the parents that let their kids run wild in Walmart? Yeah. I mean, when I was a kid, my mom, she goes, you hold my hand. If you touch anything, I'll tell your father. Now the moms are like, run free. Climb on the greeter. Climb on the cheese. I don't know who your father is, No, this pack of kids is running around. I stopped this kid. I said, where is your mother? He's like, Target. She dropped us off, went to Super Target. I'm like, well, she's super smart, And like I said, you have the greeters, Hello. That's kind of creepy. Hello. You try to sneak around them. Hello. You cannot sneak by a greeter. If the government really wanted to seal the border, yeah, Walmart greeters all the way across. Hello. People would be like, never mind, senor. You're kind of creepy. I come back tomorrow. Then, of course, the putback people. You're like, who are the putback people? We're all the putback people. It's like crunchy peanut butter. I didn't mean to get crunchy peanut butter. I'll just put it back right here with the women's underwear. Right? Nobody puts stuff back where it goes. Nobody. I'm pushing my cart. The lady says, oh, where'd you get the watermelon? Yeah, I said, over in automotive. Yeah, right by the flip-flops. But you know what I was really thinking? I'm thinking, I just want to go back and get stuck in a drive-through. Yes, Thank you very much. Thank you. Appreciate you. Thank you.
Welcome back. I hope you stuck around to hear John Fannell tell some stories. So let's just, we don't have much time.
Okay.
I really need an hour, to really
Well,
get
bless you.
it.
Bless
But
you.
one of these days, okay?
Okay.
But right now, real quickly, tell me confidence. That's what the monologue was about. Tell me how you got the confidence to do what you're doing.
I went through a lot of pain. There's a lot of pain and I think a lot of risk. You have to, it's almost like if you got to be careful, because if you get in what I call the confidence trap, where you think, okay, I'm going to try this when I get enough confidence,
right?
Then you're just going to wait your whole life.
Right.
Because you'll make excuses like, well, I can't do this quite yet because I'm building up my confidence. At some point, you have to have the courage to run at what you're afraid of.
Right.
And when I first started in stand-up, you'd do anything to perform. We'd go out on the stage at Holiday Inn. There was nobody in the room.
Yeah.
Nobody. And you're just talking, and they had dance lights, so half my face was purple and half was green. Yeah. And you're talking to an empty room, and then over at the bar, their backs are to you. At the bar, all these men, and you're still nervous, and you're talking to these empty chairs. And now and then somebody would walk in and say, hey, where's the men's room? And it's like, yeah, it's over there. You'd stop in the middle of your act,
Wow.
But you would just do anything to perform. I remember I used to be a disaster reenactor. And because it was a type of performing, it was to help train first responders. And they would mock you up with injuries. And one time I had this horrible head injury. And people were like, oh man, that looks great. Can I have a picture of you with your head injury? And, it's like it was really gross. And you're standing there like, smiling for the camera. Yeah. And they go, no, you got to show your family. Don't take it off. Because I was starting to take it off,
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh, I got to get home, and show my wife, and I didn't want to be late to my daughter's soccer game. So I'm out of town and I'm racing home on the turnpike. And I get to the thing at the change thing at the turnpike. Right. And I pull up there and I throw my change and it misses. And it goes on the ground. And I'm like, oh man, and that's all I had. So I open the door and I'm leaning out of my car and I got this head injury and these people going the other way. I'm like, sir, sir, are you okay? And I'm like, yeah, I'm fine. They go, no, you're not. You're not okay.
Oh,
That is call an ambulance. I'm feeling better now. No, sir.
Oh my goodness.
But you would just try anything as a comedian, as a new comedian, you'd just go through a lot of heartache. But that's the only way you would get the confidence you wanted, was just like if there was something, you just got to go at it,
But now you feel comfortable in your own skin to do whatever you want to with comedy, right?
You're never completely there. You're never completely there, but you get to a point where you're not as afraid to get out there and try something you haven't tried. But it's important to always try things you've never tried, because to challenge your courage, to summon courage to get the confidence that you need.
Right. Thank you so much for being here.
Well, thank you so much for having me.
I'm sorry
I
it
had
took
a lot
so
of
long.
fun.
I did too.
Oh, it's great to meet you.
Now,
great to meet
we're
you.
family now, right?
That's right. That's right. We are.
That means you can come back sometime.
I'd love to. I would love to.
Okay. Thank you for joining us today on Making It Happen TV. I hope you enjoyed the show today. So be sure and come back, see all the different guests that we're going to have over the days. So remember, don't just think it. Make it happen in your own life. Thanks. We'll see you soon.
Today I found a lucky flower. I think that's a good sign. Another family is coming this week to choose one of us. And this time, maybe, just maybe, they will choose me.
People that haven't been in abusive situations, they think, what is wrong with you? Can't you just get over it? But you can't get over it unless somebody tells you how. The sad part of it is that so many people end up in these abusive situations, and you wonder why there's so much depression. Why is there so much suicide? Why is there so much alcoholism? Why is there so much drug addiction? There's something causing all of that.
Yes, it is.
There's something inside of you that's hurting. And you need to understand why you're hurting. But I was still a child inside. Because, you know, when it's almost like you get stuck in a period emotionally, and you can't go anywhere with it. So I got to the point where suicide was on my mind constantly. You know, how can I get out of this? How can I just stop the pain? It was almost like I had an open wound that I couldn't get to heal.